we're gonna mix Picky by Abdiel and ATMOS. Quick. Okay. So do some background vocals. What I like to do with them is usually smash them a little bit. So I'm gonna take like an R compressor, pop like a smooth vocal on it, and I'm gonna take this down to like 3.80. 3.80. That works. Okay. I take the attack a little bit down and then release a little bit up. And the threshold can bring down to like -14. So now we have that. So now they're a little more smashed. And what we can do is take a up mixer. This one I guess I can use 5.1 right here. So I'm gonna toss this a little bit in the back. So I'm gonna put the depth down to like 35. I'm gonna take bass management off. So that's in the back. We have that for now, and now we have the bass. So bass we're gonna toss into the ATMOS bed as well. And the bass has a lot of low end, so we're gonna throw that into anything low end you want to toss into that LFE. So I'm actually gonna put it on the send in the ATMOS bed. I'm gonna put the LFE up to like -20. I can afford to do that much. So let's get a little more. So I'm gonna do like -15. LFE signal for some reason, so it's a little weird. Okay, forward. Okay, I'm gonna get -15. Toss it in the center though. There we go. Okay, so now is drums. So drums I like to do a couple things with. So I'm gonna make 3 different drums. And drums reggaeton, because I like to toss those in the back. Usually in like reggaeton, on the back, I like to add a little height to them too. So I'm gonna put like about a 25 in these. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go in an EQ, soothe at the end, and then put a cut up to like there. So I'm gonna get this soothed out to like around there. Then take room for the vocals, and then up here I'm gonna put a little bit higher there, and then I'm gonna put a gate on it, and I'm gonna go to something I made. It's the high drums gate right here. see we're getting a lot of hi-hat bleed, so what we're gonna do is a little bit before that, I'm gonna put a noise suppressor. See, we're getting a lot of low end, so I'm just gonna take down here. So we're getting some of that, and again, I'm just gonna smash it just a tiny bit. I'll use the compressor, and this time let's go to factory, and I can just go to drums. So that's at a 4.1. We're gonna bring it down to 6, and we're bring the threshold down to like 10. That's good. We'll take the gain down a little bit. Has a little more dull, and I'm gonna place a reverb. And I'm gonna put a I'll go to H reverb, and I'm gonna toss one of these hardware ones. I'm gonna put a 70 to P80, but I'm gonna bring that up to like a 1.78, and I'm gonna put the input echoes on. Actually, that dry right is there, and take the size down just a little bit. So I have a little bit of a bigger space. So I'm gonna call that deverb, and I'm just gonna toss the front drums on it. So these I'm gonna toss into the ATMOS bed. Again, bring these up. So I'm gonna go to the factory. I'm gonna go to the drums. So I'm gonna toss these drums into it. So what I'm gonna do now is all I like to do is I'm gonna put an energy pair on it, sub 1.2 on it, and I'm gonna put panning tails on it. Alright, I'm not liking what I'm seeing, so I'm just gonna get orbiting. This needs to be smashed. I'm gonna go to Spirix compressor. Dynamic mix on that. So these, I'm just gonna put wall that just to keep it tight. And do that over here. Add a little more width to it and toss that back a little more. There we go. Alright, so now lead vocals. So lead vocals, first thing I want to do, I'm gonna go straight to a compressor, and I'm gonna toss on one of these. I'm gonna toss on vocal 1. I'm gonna bring the threshold to 2.40, bring the gain to 2, and I'm gonna bring that threshold down, like around there. Hear how that sounds. So you see how it sounds all like smash it, then we're taking the mix down until it sounds normal again. So now after we do that, I'm gonna go into the ATMOS bed here and put a little bit of height on it. So I'm gonna get about like a 20. I'm gonna get like about a 20 on here. We're gonna move it up. So we have that, and we're just gonna toss the drums into the reverb a little bit. And now we're gonna take this and we're just gonna straight up go into sound field up mixer, but I'm gonna do a stereo quad. And now that we have that, we can take this delivery limit off and we're gonna bring it down to one of the. Oops.
Yo no soy solo, pero no pidoca. Bad bitch, le gusta que le den brocha. Que le voy que le meto.
So I'm gonna bring down this just a tiny bit. I'm gonna bring this down to about like -2. And I'm gonna toss up this to reestablish the balance. So I'm gonna do like a -8.
La boca ya, más dura, más piqui, más mala. Factura y hace su plata. Los plones.
And I'm gonna put another thing, but I'm gonna put a an energy panner. I'm gonna put this to 7.1.2. Toss this onto the ATMOS bed, and I'm gonna put big vocals on this. And I'm gonna take the dry wet to 100%, turn the gain down about like 3. And again, just before I already know, I'm gonna put the speakers compressor on it, glue it down a little bit. So I'm gonna go to this one, and I'm gonna go to the glue. But I'm gonna take the threshold and put it up a little bit, and the release I'll make it a little bit slower attack as well. It's a little more soothed. But I'm also gonna go to the mix, and I'm gonna take this down a little bit too. So box speaker, and I'm gonna send this to the box speaker.
Con grava, primo en cara, porque ahora está más dura, más bicha, más pegue. Ella brilla más que los bebés. No cualquiera puede tenerte, se tienen que joder pa' verte.
So that's adding more space to the room. Now I'm just gonna take a reverb. This time I'm just go to reverb, H reverb again, and I really like these hardware ones. We're gonna go all the way up. Oh wait, that might be down. Not that. It's down, and I'm gonna go to it's a plate like this. See that high reverb tone? I'm gonna take it down to like a 340. Put the dynamics, output echoes on it, not the input echoes. And I'm gonna take the size, take that down a tiny bit. Put the ER tail up a little bit, and we get the build up and bring that down a little bit so we don't have too much build up. So reverb, and I'm gonna toss that into the ATMOS bed again, as you think, and I'm gonna take this and toss it onto the reverb. But you hear how you get that extra space on it, so I'm gonna put a if I can find it, EQ. I'm gonna put a Marble G EQ on it. I like this. So I took down the fundamental frequencies. I'm leaving a little bit in the middle so it can beef up the vocal, but it's not a fundamental. Around like 1.25, 7/8K. Those are like some of the fundamentals that I want to keep, like some of the syllables that we want through. So we're going to take down some of the lower ends too. But we're going to bring up around 200, 126. It adds more of a body to it. So now we can bring it up. And again, we're going to go to here. This time I'm going to use MAGC, which I'm gonna take the speed, bring it down, put a psychoacoustic prefab, and I'm gonna do the output down a little bit, and the range I'm gonna put to there. So now the reverb sounds a little more big, and then I'm gonna last put a L360 on it to compress down a little bit. But I'm gonna go to soundtrack settings. See how that sounds a little bit heavy now. So what I'm just gonna do, one last thing, is I'm gonna go to sound field. I'm gonna do M360 mix down. So the mix down I'm gonna put on it is I'm gonna put a ITU LC. So I like the S3 one actually a little better. And now finally we can take it down to the better volume. So now we kind of recreated the tight reverb. We've already had the little bit of reverb on the vocals. Now we've tightened it up and added our own to add a little bit more space to it. And putting it in the center and left-right channels makes it a little better for Apple Spatial Audio, because Apple Spatial Audio isn't the best when you put it in the center. Like if you're listening on AirPods, it doesn't translate correctly since it's technically only working through phantom center. It doesn't place the objects right. Sometimes when it plays off of like a device that doesn't handle Atmos very well. For example, if you're playing back Dolby Atmos content on a TV, it's not going to sound right. It doesn't have a dedicated center channel, and something happens with the Dolby Atmos JOC that it doesn't correct the volume when making it into stereo or into less channels, or a system without a center channel, which is an issue. So it sounds a little weird. So putting it left to right makes it a little more balanced. So when it converts to stereo or something, it's going to sound the down mix a little better and sound better in general. Unless you have an Apple TV 4K with the Dolby Atmos playing to a system, I mean, you're not going to be able to have to worry if it's like going to sound bad with the center, because the Dolby Atmos on the Apple TV 4K actually plays like discrete, but other devices down mix it and it sounds worse. So another thing is if you listen, the vocals sound a little dry. So I'm gonna go to a C6 right here, and I'm gonna find on the vocals, I'm gonna go to Presence A. But the only problem is we're gonna take this effect down a little bit. So what I'm gonna do is just take the output gain on it, and then I'm gonna put a not effect, sorry. I'm gonna put a find it. Yeah, real quick. So we got around 500 that we'll just beef up. So I'm just gonna go to a C4. I'm gonna find around 500 range right there. I'm gonna take this and I'm gonna set the frequency down there. So now we can beef it up because we smoothed that out. That's where was, and we can just go straight to something like a DBX I'm gonna turn off the noise right there, but I'm gonna put that on there, and I'm gonna take the compression to a 6.1 right there, and I'm just gonna set threshold to like 0.0500. Yeah, so now it's really smashing the fuck out of it right there. And one last thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna go and put on a BF76. This is a pretty good plug. I'm gonna set the output higher, but I'm gonna set the attack to halfway. And I'm gonna set this to like about 3 o'clock. Put on the 8 too. So now we can really hear how this turns. And I'm just gonna put a noise suppressor on it right before that. This is such a good plugin right here. And the drums really aren't banging enough in the front, so what I'm gonna do right now is I'm gonna set these drums to a parallel. So I'm gonna create a something real quick for the drums right here. There you go, right there. I'm gonna set this into the ATMOS bed, and I'm gonna put this halfway in the middle right here. I'm gonna put it at a -50 and 50 here, and I'm gonna make the size like a 15, so it's spread a little bit, and we'll take the side down just a little bit. So I'm gonna do like an 80 on each side, and the center we're gonna take down a little bit too. We do that about like a 65 right there. So drums punch, so I'm gonna send the drums to the drums punch, and on here I'm just gonna put a go for C4. I'll go to where is it? Stereo bus blender, there we go. So now hold it down a little bit, and I'm gonna go to a 2A, turn off this, put the high frequency on top. We're bypassing it almost. I'm gonna put the gain at pretty high, like a 7, and I'm gonna put the peak reduction at like a 6. So now right there when we send it, see, it's really smashed right there. So then I'm gonna go to a L2. I'm gonna turn on type 2 right there. I'm gonna turn off noise shaping. So we're really getting that. That's slam. So I'm gonna go on a EQ, filter out these and really get that. And now, after we have all that smash right there, I can just go down to just a simple compressor like a C1 comp, and I can set like around like a -20 threshold. I'm gonna put the ratio to 4 because we're compressing pretty heavy. I might actually bring it up to a 5 right there, and the attack I'm gonna bring down to 0, and the release I'm gonna keep a little higher, like a 200 range, and then the makeup gain I'm gonna do -1. And the reference I'm gonna put on the peak reference. Since we've already put the EQ, we're not doing the low. So you hear that? So you hear that extra punch riding. So now that we have that extra punch, we're gonna go into here, put it on a 2A. I'm gonna go to like a drum group. And I'm gonna go on here and again put a C1 comp. Choose a classic, but I'm gonna take the threshold, bring that up a little bit, the ratio, take it down, and I'm gonna get the makeup down a little bit. So now that we've compressed it a little bit, I can toss a one limiter on it, and I'll just. Now I'm gonna go into here, and I'm gonna put a spirit compressor on this real quick. And what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go to weapons. I'm gonna go to the threshold, bring that down up here. And now that we have that, I'm gonna go on to one of these things. I'm gonna go to something that we've upmixed, so I can toss a if I can find it. Shit. It may not work with that, so I'll try something. I might put a toss it on here. That might work. Very music. Okay. And this adds some fixes the space, so we don't want it to be too far out. We actually, as a matter of fact, want it to be like just about like 5 feet in front of us. And I'm gonna take the attenuation up a little bit to about like 2. And I'm gonna take the gain and set it at low and bring it up until I feel that the vocals have a bigger space. And this reverb is getting very heavy, so I'm gonna go and put another thing on it. I'm gonna put a actually, I might put a compressor on it. I'm gonna put that L360 on it again, and I'm gonna put soundtrack vitamins on it. But the thing I'm gonna do right here is that we're gonna do all linked attenuation. And I'm just gonna bring down this ceiling. So now we brought back the space, and we're listening to the reverb. I'm hearing a little bit too much tail on it, so I'm gonna take these outputs off. Maybe take the reverb time down a little bit. And I'm just gonna bring this limiter there and the compressor to that bass right there. I'm gonna put one last thing. I'm gonna put a where is it? Yeah, another compressor. But this time I'm gonna put it on LRC. Take the analog off. Put the mix to like 75. So add a little bit more like so I'm gonna set the threshold to like -5 right there. I'm gonna put the ratio to 1.5 right there. I'm gonna put the release to about 75. The tack I have pretty fast 1. And I'm just gonna A/B this. So
yo no soy solo, pero no van con otro. Ella lo tiene, ella lo sube, hasta como es. Maldita perra.
And I'm gonna go on here. Air music. Distance. I'm gonna put to 1.1. Distance attenuation. I'm gonna take off. And the gain, I'm gonna bring up 1. Now Now we can bring this limiter down a
Te
little
subo la nota, hay par que quieren darte y estamos tan pidoca. Bad bitch le gusta que le den brocha, que le doy que le metan lo de la boca, yeah. Más dura, más piqui, más mala.
bit. And
Factura, ella hace su plata. Los blones los prendemos.
this is peaking a little bit. I'm just gonna toss a one of these on it, and I'm gonna put hot and pop. And see that little bit of crispiness we have. Because we want about to press it down.
Más dura, más bicha, más pegue. Ella brilla más que los bebés. No cualquiera puede tenerte. Se tienen que joder pa' verte.
And that's what we got. And the last thing I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna make a group of all the reverbs. Reverb, reverb. I'm gonna toss these into a group. And what I'm gonna do is bring these down until I feel like the space is like fixed.
Exclusiva, cual que quiera, si cualquiera quiere. No, tú tienes todos los poderes. Podemos chingarnos sin.
And I'm hearing a little bit, now that we've took down the reverb, I'm hearing a little bit on the lead vocals. I can just toss this and put it behind there. Feel a little bit. So I found the saturation seems to be peaking around there. This seems to be a little bit too much muddy, and this over here seems to be there. So I'm going to also take this down just a little bit.
Tienen que joder pa' verte. Exclusiva, cual que quiera, si cualquiera quiere.
Oh shit. Alright, sample 1.2. Oh no. There we go. Alright, right there real quick. Something not too bad. 5.2, I'm gonna try.
Yo no soy celoso, pero no bueno con otro. Ella la tiene, ella la sube, ya te como es. Maldita perra, tú me fundes con esos corales. Entonces que yo me vuelvo sangriento. Se lo mamo y le doy de al mismo tiempo. Formando en la cyber pa' que te suba la nota. Hay por que quieren darte y te montan.
So now I'm hearing a little bit too much on the back. Oh, I do the background vocals. Toss that gain down. And I'm gonna toss this back even more. And I'm set this to like 89 because that's what it is. Alright, so it ends like right there. Looks like around that. Okay, bounce it. Let's put it right there.